Okay. What am I doing today? Well, I need to, hey Nick.
Go to BravoTV.com. Previously on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm very upset and hurt and disappointed because I put a lot of trust in you. I tried to drive a wedge between one of my very, very good friends. That's a hard pill to swallow. I'd like to bring up the sales for our trip to Berlin. While we're here, look at the office up there. Look at this church on the left. Yeah, it's pretty intense. It was nice knowing all of you.
Okay. I'll show you what I picked up. They used to call it flex tubing. I don't know what it's called now. I want to save these plugs a little bit. So, years ago, you know, if you had an exhaust leak, you know, a bad pipe or something, instead of replacing the whole pipe, you would buy the flex tubing, and you were able to buy it by the foot, you know, or by a certain length, you know, whichever, and cut that piece out and get a couple clamps and put this piece on, and it took care of it. Now, it wouldn't have lasted forever, but it lasted quite a while. I mean, it would last long enough to where the rest of the pipe would have to go bad, and it's time to replace it all. So, you know, it got you through, and it would have lasted. Like I said, it would last. However, Connecticut made it illegal. Yeah. So it hasn't been around in a while. You were able to find it, but when you find it, they tell you it's not to be used. Oops, wrong one. Not to be used for automotive use. And yeah, and you know. And so on. But meanwhile, it's I think it's 2.5 inches is what I got. Now what I'm looking to do is to bear with me for a minute. Hook up a small fan to it, because now I can get away with something smaller just to circulate air, and one that will deal with heat. So I got this 2.5 or 3 inch whisper fan. This fan here, well, whisper fan, whatever, goes on a heat sink, which would normally go on a computer chip. What do you call them? You know, the main chip. I forgot what they're called. And it's made to keep them cool, so that they don't overheat. And that's what this is all about. So I'm thinking I don't need a lot of movement. If it moves too fast, it'll cool it down. I just want a little bit more than what the natural order of it would be. None of them give you the oh shit, what do they call it now? I can't forget. I can't remember that either today. The movement. There's a name for it. Anyway, you guys know what I mean. CFMs or whatever. I see, this isn't too bad. Well, you're not going to see it or feel it, but you can tell by the wind on the microphone. Hmm. I think this may work. Now, let's see what we have here for speed. Is this a negative or positive side? Got a blue wire here.
These poor Germans. This is a very
Okay, it's not a high speed, low speed. I thought it would have been a high speed, low speed, but apparently not.
love that dress. It's so pretty.
It's a good choice.
Okay.
So thank you very much. I'm very happy that you love this cat.
It must be just a switch. Through a thermal switch. Thermal switch, when it gets hot, it will turn on or off whatever it is you have hooked up to it. And so this blue wire may have been connected to a thermal switch, so that when the temperature got just so hot on the main chip here, what the hell they call that chip? You know what I mean? But at that point, it would turn on the fan, cool down the chip. Something like I was thinking of doing to start with on the actual fan where I'm using it. Not too bad out today.
This is so similar to where I ride, and it was when we lived in the countryside. It really is kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Just I feel like I've gone back in time.
Now here's a can of Blaster. It's brand new. It's heavy. It's got air, but nothing wants to come out. Huh. That kind of sucks doo-doo. It's alright, it was only me. Yeah, that fan seems to be working alright. I'm gonna see how much I get out of it now. I got the heat on. And I want to see how it feels. See, this is the tubing I'm talking about. Yeah. Now that's heavy. It's not, like dryer vent stuff. It's heavy. I don't know what they call it anymore. They call it part number. So what I'm doing, that's just sitting there. I just got it hanging just to get it up out of the way so I don't trip over it. But there's two things I can do. One is box this off with a plate and just drill a hole for that to fit into. This way, if it doesn't work that well, I can just remove the plate and I still have this big piece here and I can go back to the original plan. Or I can unscrew this completely off the plenum and put a plate on it and put that into it. I'm thinking this would be the easiest way. And I'm not sure, but I think I've got some vents with the shutoff, which would work even better. And here's another fan, a little bit bigger if I need it. So let me take this over here. Yeah. And we'll see what happens. I gotta take this one apart, but for now, let me just put it there. So that's kind of where we're at. Now, this will be easier to use because I can just take it and strap it up. It's not going to flop around. I'm just deciding Well, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it long because the closer I can get the heat to come out of the back, it'll be better. Plus, the more pipe I have with heat on it, because naturally if heat's coming out of it, it's going to get warm. That'll also radiate more heat. So in general, the longer the better at this point. Now, I did start this up. I don't know if it's going to be... Yeah, it's going. Okay. Now, the wife went to the store the other day. I said, listen, when you go, because I'm running out of these fire bricks, and I use these a lot. I've been using them since we've been here. She said they didn't have any more, but they had these. Well, these came in this little package here. There's 18 of them to a box. I don't know how much it was, $5 maybe. But anyway, she said they're made by the same company. Yeah, I said, but you know, what I had told her was if they didn't have what I want, get nothing. Well, she said these are better than nothing. Well, they are in a way, but I noticed that they're a quick igniter, but they don't seem to last for long. So you definitely have to have your wood has to be seasoned, or you have to have a good wood for starting. You know, a lot of little, what do you call it? You know, yeah. Boy, I'm good for worse today, aren't I? Whoa, boy. So, but meanwhile, let me see. I'm waiting for this to get hot so I can see how much air is actually going to move through this thing before I put a fan on it. That was coming down. That's just there for now, just to blow heat or air across the plenum, just to give me some heat. And that actually works for moving the heat from that as well. So, but the objective here is to, seeing that I can get wood for practically nothing at times, use wood instead of gas. And I have the thermostat right here for the furnace, so when the heat does radiate off of this hits it first, as well as that blowing over here around on it somewhat. It kind of shuts that down quicker, which is okay with me. All right, and the wife, she loves it because it keeps the gas bill down. In the wintertime, we're up around $3.50 or so for gas, and you get a little stiff at times. Today is Monday, by the way. The wife is still home. There's the screws. Today is, well, tonight's New Year's Eve. So that's where we're at. Now, how do I get this out of here? These should just come right out. There's a couple of lock washers holding them on there. Okay. So let me push that down and get those washers off there. Okay. Well, they're not lock washers. Well, I guess you can call them a lock washer, but... do that. And so I took it off. And now where am I putting these things? There it is, okay. And then I trimmed off the back end that we didn't need. And then the next thing you know, when I go to load it, it won't load right. It keeps loading all screwy. It's not loading as a 360. It's loading as a double image. Almost like it would be a, almost like if you were looking at maybe a 3D, but not, if you know what I mean. So I said, well, that's not right. So I took that one off. So you're going to see a lot of them on, but nothing there. And then after I took it off, I said, well, let me load it again. So I loaded it again. And when I look at it, before I load it, it's fine. So I got to figure out what the hell happened to that. Because it takes time to load. It's easy to do. I mean, it's just like YouTube. It's just, you just put in your password, your username, and away it goes. However, it does take time. It's a lot slower than your normal posting or uploading. There. Okay, so anyway, I gotta kind of figure out what the hell the issue is with that, because that's driving me nuts. Cuckoo. Driving me cuckoo.
How's this looking?
So meanwhile, today is Monday the 31st. I had gone for coffee already. Came home early today. Didn't want to stay out too long. Wanted to get home and do with my honey.
We're in Berlin, so I'm inspired by
And
Marlene Dietrich and a little bit of Catherine Deneuve in the hunger.
hang out and get back here.
All right, don't entertain. Tonight, your husband.
Besides, we actually had to go to another place today, Common Grounds they call it. The breakfast spot that we go to, or have been going to lately. Oh no, see that's nice, but that may be too fast. And it's noisy. Hear it? I don't know if you can see it, but it's blowing paper. So I mean, we got some over here. I don't know if you see it blowing that paper or not. But finger. Make note to self. Self, do not put finger in fan. Okay, so this is variable speed. So this may be the way, because I can put a switch on it. Yeah. Because when it's on lower speed, I'm still getting nice circulation. A little bit more than that one. Yeah, this is the fan I'm going to use. Because I have the option of having 2 speeds. 2 speed. 2 speed. 2 speed. So we put that over there. Let me put this little mini grill over here. Use for that over there. Yeah, I keep moving things over here to clear this, and then I end up with a mess over here. And these are unique little screws. So this is what we're going to use. So meanwhile, what's today? Let's go back over here for a minute. Today is the 31st, December 31st, 2018, and it is 12:19 p.m. here in Connecticut, and it is 48 degrees out there. No sun, but 48 degrees, which isn't actually too bad. It's because the sun isn't out, it feels a little chilly. Because the ground is damp, it feels a little chilly, but it's really not too bad. So we're going to do a few things in here, and I may even jump outside and start with the winch on the van. And if I get motivated enough, I know, guys, you're going to get tired of hearing it. The alarm. Okay, so that's where we're at. Let me have my tea. And, and I got to put this antenna on the van this one. I did this one here. I cut it. I got it all ready. I just got to put a static ball on the top, which isn't a big deal. I just can cut a ridge, and that'll help. And then we're done. All right. Let me go, guys, please. Please. I know you want me to keep going and make these long videos, but I gotta slow down once in a while. Give me a break, guys. I'll be back. Alright, so what I've done, as you can see, oh, that's hot. I drilled a hole in a piece of heavier plate, pushed it through about 3.5 inches, put a large hose clamp on it, tightened it down nice and tight so this won't pull out. Then I put some fire retardant caulk, that's that red stuff, and then I caulked around that naturally so it wouldn't leak between here and the plate, and then I put some around the plate and bolted that down inside, and the hole in this is just a little bit bigger so I wouldn't have any problems trying to get that down in there, because I decided to do it when it's hot and not when it's cool, and I am getting heat out of this thing, so I think I'm just going to have to put a fan on it and I'm all set. And put that up here. And I don't think I'm going to have any problems once I get a fan on there. And this, even with this open, giving me heat, I'm still getting a lot of heat out of that. So, and when I was working on it here, right here, my wrist was being burnt. Burnt, I say burnt. So it seems to be working. Alright, now the only thing is, being so close to the heat all morning, if I go outside, it's going to be cold. And it's 48 degrees out there, so it's really not cold, but it's cold. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like tomorrow. I keep putting it off, and I just got to stop.
The hotel hooked it up for us. We have unbelievable access.
This is the largest stock of exotic animals in a zoo worldwide. 73 years.
Anyway,
So here we have the
I'm not going to bother with the fan just yet. I don't think, anyway.
He's in Dubai.
No, I don't think I will.
Right on the seat.
I could do this, but I'm going to. Hold on.
Cameras that are left in the world.
1,811. Come on, ladies. Now, this is the backstage area for them.
Yeah, super private. Sure.
So let's go through here.
Okay. So put this over here. Alright, so basically, that's done except for just hooking up the fan. Let me get this spindle out of here. And sometimes I forget I have half this shit around here. You know, the other day, I don't know if I was telling you, I think I was. You know, I don't like talking about health too much. You know, we all have our health problems. But the other day, I think I was telling you, I increased my metoprolol by 25 milligrams, and it seemed to have helped with the rapid heartbeat, palpitations, whatever you want to call them. They weren't as severe, and again, you don't know if it's working because you may get them so far and few between you really don't know what the hell is going on. What the hell is this thing for? $200. What did I spend $200 on? Oh, those radios. Okay. I don't need those anymore. So I started taking the 75s, and I let the doctor know. I send him a text, through the my chart, and he sent in a script, for 25s, so I can add the 25 to the 50s that I have, so I'm not wasting, money or meds, which is good. And then, there's every now and then you get a little, okay, it's not just right. So I said, well, you know what, let me up it to 100. So I did that for like 3 days, 4 days, and I got a hold of him and told him I upped him to 100. And he said, okay, and he sent a script in for 100. But then I wasn't feeling right. For some reason, I was just feeling edgy. You just wasn't feeling right, somewhat confused or something, just not right, if you know what I mean. I'm going, man, can that be the increase? Doing that, I mean, anything can happen, anything can be, anything is possible. So I'm trying to figure out, if that had anything to do with it. I said, you know what, let me back down again to 75 and we'll see. And the thing is, you can't just back down today and expect results tomorrow. It takes, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. That's why I said earlier, if you're going to increase your meds, you just don't want to do a big increase because you want to see. So you got to give it a week, 10 days. And if you're going to decrease, you want to do the same thing. Decrease a little, wait 7 to 10 days. If you feel okay and you think you can decrease a little bit more, decrease a little bit more. 7 to 10 days. Don't get impatient. Do it in baby steps. And the same when you start taking the medication. Sometimes the body just doesn't want to react to it as quick. So you got to kind of wean it. So anyway, everything seems to be okay. But you know what I noticed? I've been noticing. See now, my doctor put me on metformin about a year or two ago. He said my sugar count was a little high. And I said, well, what's a little high and what's normal? Because they keep changing the standards. And I think they changed the standards just so that the pharmaceuticals can move more medicine. So, they lower the standards. If it can't hurt you, well, let's just lower the standards. So that's what they do. In my opinion, it's anything else. You gotta, can you trust them? Who knows? The dollar rules a lot. So I said, well, wait a minute. What are you calling high? I mean, why is it high now and it hasn't changed, but it wasn't high before? Well, they changed the standards. Well, that doesn't mean anything to me. Just because the standards have changed, that just tells me the pharmaceutical want to sell more meds. Now, yeah, I can understand, you don't want your sugar crazy. But anyway, he put me on metformin, 500 milligrams, one in the morning, one at night. And I was taking them. I didn't notice any difference or anything. And I got the machine, and I'm pricking my finger, and every morning and all that kind of crap. You guys that are into the diabetic thing, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Well, you do. And I said, well, I'm down to 107. All right. And he did tell me that metformin is something that you can come off from. You got to wean yourself off it. But you can come off of metformin. So I said, you know what? I'm going to slow down. So I started cutting back, and I wasn't taking it anymore. And my count was 107, which isn't bad. Not a problem. He says, oh, right, your blood pressure looks good, everything's fine, blah, 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 blah. 107, all right, just keep an eye on it, he goes. Well, yeah, all right, I'm the guy that thinks, well, I got it there, I'm all set, do what I got to do, and so on and so forth. Well, I think the problem was I went nuts over the last couple days, with the holidays, with lots of carbs, you know, pastas, lots of food, lots of sugar. Now, sugar doesn't necessarily mean sugar. You know what I mean? You know, my father had sugar, and his sister kept saying, "Get off the donuts." You know, well, the donuts contribute to weight. Weight contributes to sugar, but it's more so, you know, your pastas, your breads, the dough, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's a bunch of things, but that's where a lot of it lies as well. And I went nuts, and I wasn't taking any metformin. And I said, you know what? I wonder. So I went to prick myself, and I couldn't find my pricks. I couldn't find the little needles to go into the little popper. So I said, well, all right, I'm not going to worry about it for now. But I am going to start taking the metformin again. So I started taking it again, and I started feeling better again. So I'm thinking what I did was I gave myself a sugar shock, kind of, you know, and my sugar was going cuckoo. As a matter of fact, here's a little container that the needles come in. I started using them as thumbtacks and things. But I think that's what it was. Because I think I just overdosed myself and got my sugar up a little higher than it's normal by itself with no meds. So that kind of tells me in a way that maybe I should maintain them, you know, because, yeah, I'm not getting any older. I am younger, rather. I have put on a few pounds, you know, which I'm going to work on for sure. This is going to be, I don't do New Year resolutions and all that kind of crap, but I will drop 20, 25 pounds and get back to the weight that I'm comfortable in, and get that taken care of this spring for sure. And at that point, we'll take it from there. Because I don't feel comfortable sometimes, you know. So, but again, you know, you don't have to starve yourself to do it. You really don't. You don't, you know.
I hope she's just preparing her next look for us and just taking a little extra time, which it does, you know.
Well, I can't go any further than that, actually, this fight. I don't want to start talking about something that I can't continue to talk about, so we'll leave it alone. But at that point, you know, you don't have to starve yourself, you know. Walking is great for circulation and heart, but it's a slow weight loss program. All right, unless you start starving yourself, and starving yourself isn't always the way. You know, I mean, the less carbs you take, sooner or later your body's going to start breaking down. Hey, baby. Okay, so meanwhile, I have to stop here only because it's too hot for me to work on. So I have to put some fireboard up here because that gets hot. This is resting on here, so I don't know if I'm going to even leave this here or not. Who knows? But meanwhile, if I am going to leave it there, I got to put a little piece of fireboard here so it'll rest on it as well. And then that'll be up there like so. But like I say, I got to let it cool down because that's like getting burnt. And it's getting late anyway. I got a lot of things I wanted to do today. I wanted to get out there and put the winch on the truck. The one I bought was, which one did I buy? Where's the booklet? With not many directions. I bought the Traveler 4500. That's more than enough. Like I say, I'm not going to be pulling out of ditches. If it's a ditch and I'm in it, AAA. If I just happen to get stuck in some snow someplace, then at that point this will be fine. So that's where we're at. I am going to use this plate along with this plate. Yeah, so they don't give you much other than basically the necessities to put the winch on. Everything you need to put it on your vehicle, you need separately. So luckily I have a lot of that plate. This is actually aluminum, and it's ribbed underneath, so it's nice and strong. And I got tons of it over there if I need it. And I do have some heavy steel, and I've got some, wherever the hell it is, I got some good 1/4 inch around here as well. And then I also got this channel if I really need it, but I don't need that. Alright, anyway, I'm going to go in. It's probably, well, let's see. I was just going to say what time is it, go to the computer, but the computer's off. It's 2 o'clock. It's an hour earlier than I would normally go in, but it's too late for me to start anything. So at this point, I'm just going to call it a day. Well, you know what I could do? Nah, it's not nothing I really need. Alright, I'm just going to go in and sack out and hang out with the wife. Tomorrow, she goes back Wednesday. So let me go hang out with her and take it easy for the rest of the day. Tomorrow, we'll see what happens. Tomorrow's another day. And come out here, putz around and do what we have to do. I don't care too much if it's raining out. In the summertime, not at all, because, you know, it's warm. But even now, I mean, if it's raining tomorrow, which they're talking rain tonight, if it's raining tomorrow, but I can still go out there and put the winch on. Working on the alarm, I don't know. Yeah, that alarm, we're all getting tired of that one, aren't we? Alright, let me go in because I got to figure out what happened with that 360 video that I posted. Once it was 360, and then the next time I posted it, it wasn't. So I got to figure that one out. So, alright, have a good one, guys. Have a great, safe, happy, and healthy New Year's.